Hello and welcome guys back to another video. This red CX5 Mazda behind me has the very common issues, which are basically loads of warning messages on the dashboard, such as the SCBS warning light, the traction control, the tire pressure light. However, because this one is an automatic one, the fault code also tricks or fools the transmission, gearbox, ECU as well. And basically, when you drive the car doesn't shift early, it shifts very late. So I mean by that, it shifts at 2.5 or 3,000 RPM upshifts, and when it does it, it basically jerking or like hits you into your back or neck. It's a weird feeling and it makes you think or believe that there may be something wrong with your gearbox, but that's not the case. All that fault is caused by the main issue, which is a fault code in the engine ECU. Very likely it will be the P0101, so we're going to check that as well. And also, if I'm not wrong, this car has also another issues, but at the moment they are hidden. The owner does not know about them, so we're going to check if we see any other fault codes, and also we're going to check the live data to spot any hidden or unnoticed issue at the moment. This is what we can see underneath the bonnet. I can already tell that the engine looks pretty much untouched. What I mean by that the valve cover has never been removed. As you can see, the factory original silicone sealant bubble is sticking out from underneath the valve cover, and also the injectors are untouched, so no one removed them. What you can see has been changed or removed is the exhaust pressure sensor, because this one has the metal housing, so this is the upgraded sensor. And you can notice that the DPF sensor is not a genuine one, because the label is missing from here. I assume that this car thrown a DPF related warning message or fault code, and someone tried to fix by replacing that sensor. And I also can see that the drive belt is cracked, so that needs definitely replacement. And intake manifold and EGR parts have never been removed, because the clamp on the hose, the rubber hose, is facing towards the cabin, and that's the factory position, so that hasn't been removed. We're going to lift the car and see it from underneath, but I can already tell that this car has like a little bit of knocking or tapping noise or sound. I will try to edit that here. Not sure if you will be able to hear it through the video, through the camera. Dan said it is coming from the top. Sam said it is coming from the timing cover area. And to me, although not 100% sure, but to me it also sounds a little bit like an early stage of a rod knock. So we're going to check and verify, and then decide who was right, where that sound is coming from, and what is causing it. The car has done 74,000 miles, as you can see, guys. And now let's have a look at the fault codes. Today I'm using the Kingball and K8 Pro scan tool. If you like this scan tool or want to purchase, I will leave the link in the description of the video. And also, using the discount code, you can get 5% off of the final price. So we have P0101 fault code. That's why the customer came to us. But apart from reading the fault codes, we also check the car visually, obviously, and check the live data to see if we can notice or spot anything weird, unusual in the live data parameters. So that's what's gonna happen next. We are at 81 degrees of oil temperature, and let's have a look at the oil pressure. We have 170 on average, which is perfect. And let's have a look at over 2000 RPM. We are above 400 kilopascals. So that oil pressure is high. I mean, it is not so common. So we are at 80 degrees of engine oil temp and over 2000 RPM. We're already getting over 400 kilopascals of engine oil pressure, which is high. It is not common. We are going to further investigate that, if there is any issue related to that or if it is any good. So let's have a look at the oil pan. As you can see, guys, the silicone sealant is not from the factory. They use the black silicone sealant, which obviously is not a problem. It only tells us that the oil sump has been removed previously and it is leaking, which is a bit of a bigger problem. But I think, my feeling is that the oil strainer will be poked through or cut open. So we're going to remove the sump. I already talked it through to the customer and he agreed. So we're going to remove the sump and we're going to check the strainer. Although they never had oil pressure problem, but I will explain that as well, like what I believe what happened. So before we removed the sump, we opened up the oil filter and this is what it looks like, guys. Probably you see it without the flashlight better. So there are chunks of carbon inside the air filter, and on the diagnostic tool, on the scan tool, it showed that the oil change has been carried out like 3000 kilometers ago, but to me it does not look like that this filter has been changed 3000 kilometers ago. And the sump is also removed, but I'm going to show you the oil pump assembly on the bench. So Sam at the moment is removing the oil pump assembly to have access to the rod bearings, because we're going to inspect them as well. So here is the oil pump with the strainer. I'll show you that here on the bench. Probably you can see it, but the mesh from inside the oil strainer is missing. It's cut open, so the internal mesh from the strainer is removed. And they also broke the strainer a tiny bit, so that bolt is already exposed all the way, which not supposed to be. It's supposed to be like this on the other side. Let's have a look at the bearings. The bearings, they do not look that bad, to be honest, considering that the strainer is cut open. As you could see, guys, that the oil strainer is cut open, but the rod bearings, they did not look that bad. Now I need to contact the customer and ask him how we should proceed any further. Basically, he has two options. For us to give full warranty, the only option is to full engine rebuild, because we don't know in what condition are the main bearings of the crankshaft, and the only way to tell is to split the engine in half and inspect them. However, there is another option or choice if he is willing to risk it. So basically, we're not going to touch the main bearings, we're not going to inspect them, we're just going to fix the oil pressure problem the regular way. So oil strainer replacement, rod bearings replacement. He still may ask not to replace the rod bearings, although I would recommend that. And also very likely the injector washers are blowing out and it needs cleaning, like the top end needs cleaning underneath the valve cover. He may have the exhaust camshaft worn as well, so if it is worn, that needs replacement. And we still do not know where that noise, that tapping or knocking noise is coming from. Definitely not from the bottom. It looks like Dan is right at the moment, so it looks like it is coming from the top, probably a tappet, because the timing chain tensioner did not look fully extended. So maybe it's the tappet, but we need to remove the top, the valve cover, to see. So yeah, I need to give a call to the customer and see how he decided. So the owner decided that he's going to go ahead with the repair and with the full engine rebuild. So Sam already removed the engine, as you can see behind me, and he's going to rebuild it, but that's going to be in another video. That's going to be the second part of this video. So I'm ending this one here. Thank you guys very much for watching, and see you very soon in the next one. Until then, take care and bye bye.